We're gonna start off with paints. So basically, the paints that I use are mainly Ingelis. I have used a few other brands, which I don't have a problem with. I don't see it Ingelis as being like the one and only brand or a product that allows for like good particular airbrush painting. But it is still a very good. It's a very good type of paint or pigment. They're a good brand. So basically, what I'm saying is, I got two different bottles. This right here is the 4 fluid ounce bottle, and then this is the 1 fluid ounce. And mainly, when I do get the 4 fluid ounce bottles, I get them mainly for colors that are the primary colors, as a white, black, for sure white and black, because you'll definitely be going through, if you do airbrush paint or just any sort of paint in general, you will be going through those colors quite often. So it's definitely it's preferred to get a 4 fluid ounce bottle. And then for any other primary color that you use, as for like a yellow, green, orange, blue, those are needed for particular 4 fluid ounce bottles. And then just any type of random particular colors that you can't really get by mixing up with these two primary colors, then it's worth just getting the small 1 fluid ounce, because it's just always worth it. And then going off to mediums, and basically what a medium is it allows you to paint on different surfaces. So these are mainly used for mainly only used for leather surfaces, and then this allows you to use this particular paint on other surfaces without it being a huge issue. And I mean by huge issue is, let's say wait 1 second. Now it's all screwed up. Anyways, so let's say I want to paint on this particular sock liner. So if I were just to use just a regular pigment paint, it would definitely screw up the whole liner, as to making it like real hard and stiff and everything. So if I were to use a GAC 900, this is what I use in particular, I would be able to paint on this surface, and then it would still have its soft feeling to it. And when I do paint on particular liners, which I'm probably gonna show you guys in the future, on these sort of liners, I tend to do it through airbrush, not by just painting with a paintbrush, because when you paint with a paintbrush, you still tend to get that sort of blotchy look to it. And if you were to paint just like with that's what you hear from when you get paint streak marks or whatever like that. That's why a lot of people use airbrushes, because it's dang near difficult to end up having a streak with the airbrush, because it's an airbrush. You don't have no marks, because it's all flowing through air. So what I do tend to prefer is, when I do work on sock liners and things of that nature, I do like to work with an airbrush, not a paintbrush, and that's the preferred use. I'm just gonna like throw these right there. All right, and then moving on. So we went through this, that. Special colors get for get 1 fluid ounce bottles, and then for the primary colors get anything higher than, anything like a 4 fluid ounce and then higher than that. Gosh, all right. Then we'll go into Bulldog spray adhesion. If you don't have an adhesion promoter, there's really no reason to work on any sort of paint product or any sort of custom, because if you don't use this, your particular custom ain't gonna last, or whatever you're painting on really isn't gonna last. Beyond just leather in general, when I have used adhesion promoter from shoes to even, damn, it's all diagonal, to even this, whatever, to even that, it's always worth it, because this just gives it that extra sort of bond that you need for any sort of surface, in order for these particular paint pigments to stick to it over time. Because anything looks perfect, everything looks perfect, the first week, the first, second week, beyond that. But you know, when somebody has a custom and, you know, you screw it up, you know, you get a grass stain or whatever, and then you want to wash it or clean it, if whoever did the custom, or if you did the custom in general, if they didn't use this as a, you know, prep method, kiss it goodbye. I mean, it's not even going to be really worth it, because what am I saying? Now I'm like, feel like I'm getting off into like a tangent. But basically, you need this adhesion promoter. That's why prep is everything. And whoever talks about prep, you know, as far as customizers, they understand that, you know, like I said, preparation is everything, and this is one of it. You know, using an adhesion promoter to make sure that your paint sticks and sticks over time, because this is what it's all about. Paint sticking over time and making sure it still has that great look and that great finish 60-70 days after it's been completed. So adhesion promoter is very, very, very important, and don't you ever forget it if you paint shoes, or if you have somebody that's painting shoes. Make sure to ask them if they're using adhesion promoter. It doesn't have to be Bulldog, but this tends to be the best product that I use, so hey, use it. And then also getting into tape. What do I want to say about this? Basically, I find great uses for both lengths. I don't know how, you know, long this particularly is in width, but you know, I use this mainly for, this is like a great model. So all right, so if I'm doing basically a whole, you know, I don't want to drop it, I don't want to push it off on the table. All right, so if I'm doing like this whole shoe right here, and you know, you have to mark off everything, and I just want to make sure that, you know, everything from here inside is, you know, fully covered and you know, doesn't get painted on. I definitely always tend to use this. If you only have this particular, you know, width or dimension, it's going to be very hard and very time consuming to cover up everything that needs to be covered up. So it's definitely worth the extra $4, if it's even $4. I think it's even less for this type of tape, the Scotch tape, to just get that tape that is just extra in width, you know, because it's very time, well, it saves you less time in regards to, you know, marking off everything and getting to, you know, do what you need to get done. So always have a skinny, I don't even know why I said that, a skinny sort of width, and then thick toward width. I don't know what I'm saying, but I hope it's making sense. I think it's making sense. Yeah. Too thin. This is solid. Before I was using, well, for anybody who doesn't know what too thin is mainly, I guess you could say, an airbrush thinner. You know, it thins the particular paint so it's able to feed and go through the airbrush, you know, at a thinner, just basically it thins down the liquid, it thins down the paint, so it's able to travel and feed through the airbrush much more better. This is solid. Before using too thin, I was using just regular water, because water just thins down everything, and it's you know, you got to buy the product, which is all good. I use this, it's solid. Really nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's cool. It definitely, if you have, oh, this is exactly why I want to talk about too thin. Okay, so you have, let's say, pewter. Pewter has like glittery, like, it has glitter in it. It has little small particles. Okay. See, a lot of stuff is like going throughout my head, and I'm trying to like get it down. So, for those who don't know, there's different types of liquids. There's a solution, and then there's a suspension. A solution is a particular liquid where it doesn't have no particles inside of it. So, a solution, when you shake it up, the particles are, you know, there's no particles that kind of like, you know, are down at the bottom. But a suspension, when you shake it up and everything dissolves and everything, you know, goes back to normal, there's particles at the bottom. And that's what I'm saying with this particular product right here. This particular paint has glitter in it. So when you do shake it up, and over time, all the particular, you know, pieces of glitter kind of form down at the bottom. So it's definitely harder when you do put it through an airbrush. You know, the airbrush isn't able to, you know, push out the paint as well, because it has all these like random glitter products in there. So what you need to do is, when you do have this product, or when you do use a paint like this where it has, you know, particular types of liquids in it, or particles in it, you need to use too thin to definitely thin it down. This is exactly why I use this product. mainly for these sort of paints where you have, you know, random particles in there that need to, you know, be thinned down so then it's able to shoot through the airbrush and then get a clean spray. Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good. All right. Primer. Don't you ever get it twisted with primer. Primer is very important, and the reason why is because this is such it saves time. It saves a lot of time. A primer, for those who don't know, primer is basically, I think it's a paint. I think it's I'm gonna say it's a paint product that is very thick. And what I mean by thick, I mean by like pigment wise thick. So if you were to spray, let's say if I were to spray this table in just one coat, it would basically almost cover up the whole, you know, this table is originally gray. It will straight up cover it up, you know, with this white pigment because it's very thick in pigment. It's a primer. Now if you were to do this with, I don't have a Angelus paint product, well I don't have a white paint right now. But if I were to use white paint and airbrush this desk with it, I would be spending probably 10 to 15 coats just to get the amount of opacity that this particular primer gets in one coat. So as far as opacity goes, and you know, making sure something is covered up, especially like in regards to like restorations and you know, marks that you want to cover up when you repaint something, this primer is very significant and very important, and that's why I definitely urge you. I use, what is this, Vallejo? Yeah, Vallejo. It's gonna be down in the description box, but I use this particular primer. I've really only needed to use you know, well, I've only needed to purchase white primer just mainly because you know, when I use regular black paint, it's pretty opaque enough to, you know, cover up whatever I need. But as far as white primer, this is definitely needed. And then, as I probably said before, also a respirator, just mainly for safety precautions. I mean, especially when dealing with you know, these all are all the paints that I use are acrylic paints, so they're mainly water based. They're basically harmless. But in regards to, you know, spray adhesives, all these aerosol products, I didn't even get the what is it called? Clear coats. All the clear coats, you know, that you put over paints and everything like that. All that stuff is aerosol products. All that stuff is airborne. A bunch of sprays and a bunch of fumes that definitely could get in your system and screw you up real bad. Not even, you know, 2 years down the road, but later down the road when you end up developing cancer and stuff like that. I was real stupid with it, especially with like 2 or 3 years ago when I just started doing it, and didn't really trip off of the fumes that much. But definitely as I got more deep into it, just understanding, you know, just to have common sense and actually use some, you know, product that definitely could save your lungs. So definitely be sure to get safety equipment, you know, that, and then gloves too, so it's not harm you and fool around and get skin cancer at 50 or something like that. But yeah, just have common sense and be safe with it. So get what you need to get as far as, like I said, gloves, respirator, and yeah, I think I covered everything. Wait, one more thing. Clear coats. Now I also use this right here, clear coats. Now this right here is a gloss finish. I do have a matte finish as well, but they're basically all the same. I've only used Krylon just because that's basically the only clear coat product that they have at Michaels, and it works very well for me. Use it mainly for all my stuff except for reconstructed sneakers, because I use a leather shiner for that, so I don't use clear coat for that. But in regards to this other paint, you know, painted customs and things that I do of that nature, you know, I use clear coats, matte and gloss, just depending on, you know, what I'm trying to do and what I guess the customer wants mainly. But like I said, they're great products. I use Krylon. I guess you should as well. It's a real dope product. You can find these at Michael's. And if I didn't get into everything else, I'll just go over where I got this all from. So this, Amazon, you can find it on Amazon. You can find anything on Amazon. This all right here, all these Angelus products, angelus.com or Turtle Feathers. I forgot what the actual official website is. This right here, Home Depot. This right here, the primer, you can get it at Amazon. This right here, GAC, is that 900? Yeah, it is 900. They come in 8 fluid ounce bottles. Gosh, yeah, you can get them at Michael's. And then I went through everything. All right, so let me know if you liked it. Yeah, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and you can check out more of my work, more of my process throughout all of my projects on my Instagram. That's at PureCLS, PIERCECLS. Twitter, PureCLS1, and then on my Facebook fan page, PureCLS. Stay tuned and have a good one.